Hey everybody, what's good? What's up? Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. JB here. We're back with another live stream. We're going to be doing another one of the TryHackMe Pentest Plus labs. We've done two so far. This one is going to be one covering network services. So we're going to hop into that and do a little bit of an overview on SMB, Telnet, and FTP, and do a little bit of enumeration and then actually try to exploit those protocols. So yeah, before we hop over there, as always, all the interaction on here is going to make this better. So if you got any comments and stuff like that, throw that in the chat while we're going through this. Smash all those buttons that I always ask you to smash as well, like, subscribe, notify, all that jazz. So let me hop over into the browser and we can get going. So let's see. Hey, Davin, what's good, man? What's up? So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how I got into this here, if you go to TryHackMe, they have some different learning paths. This one is under Comptia Pentest Plus. Click into that. The ones that we did before, we did the NMAP one, and then we did the Introductory to Networking. So today we're going to be doing the Network Services one. So we are going to hop over into here. I already started up the machines that are in here. So I have my machine that I'm attacking from, and then the one that we're going to be enumerating with first off the bat. So yeah, we can just kind of hop into this and kind of walk through all these and see how it goes. So I'm going to pretend to be a pen tester. We're going to see how good of a job I do. And, we can all pretend to be pen testers. And those that are pen testers that are watching this, they can support us nicely and not, give us a hard time. Of course, they wouldn't do that. All right, so we already got all the stuff set up and connected, so we can hit complete on that. And they're going to have a little bit of a section here breaking down SMB. So SMB being the server message block protocol. Normally you're going to see it in client to server types of communication, especially with sharing of different types of files. So getting access to files, printers, other types of peripheral ports and stuff like that. The reason why this can become quite an issue is because it's ubiquitous with using Windows environments. For the most part, it uses SMB a lot. And there's a few different versions of it, 1, 2, and 3. The first version, SMB version 1, is crap because of the fact it doesn't use any type of encryption. So that can get you in a bit of trouble using that. And version 2 and version 3 are a little bit better. I think you're able to do some encryption, some digital signatures or signing. But there's still issues with that, and it's always kind of this balance within an environment, whether or not you should turn it off or not turn it off. More likely than not, you're going to need it. So if you can control the data flows within your environment, I mean, devices that don't need to be talking to each other over SMB, you should be blocking that. So, server to server communication probably doesn't need to be happening unless it's, print server or file server or something like that. And as far as the ports that it uses, I believe it goes over NetBIOS port. So it's normally like 139 and 445. I'm sure we'll hit that in here somewhere. And let's see, anything else in here that's kind of worth touching on. I'm kind of just doing that off the top of my head, and hopefully it's all the stuff that's important. Got some more folks dropping in the chat. Hey, what's good? What's up? Hey, Kiki. Hope George is treating you well. All right, so let's see. They're talking about using it in Microsoft, as I mentioned. And then Samba is an open source version that you can use on Linux systems. So SMB, what does it stand for? We already covered that. Server message block. Server message block. And what type of protocol is SMB? I believe that is going to be a response-request protocol. Cool. What do clients connect to servers using? I don't think they covered the ports in here, so they're probably looking for using TCP. It's a TCP protocol, so connection oriented. So let's go TCP IP. And what system does Samba run on? We talked about that being for Unix. Ta-da. Okay, cool. So now we can actually get into the good stuff. And what are they going to have us do here? So we already started the machine up. That's what I have up here, showing that it's running. We're going to be doing some enumeration. It looks like they want us to do some enumeration off the bat using NMAP. Talk about using NMAP. And remember, we already did the NMAP room. And then also using Enum for Linux, which is a tool that's specifically for enumerating SMB shares. So NMAP is something, if you didn't catch that other video, that we use to kind of try to find out what services and applications and devices are out there on our network. And then this Enum for Linux is something that we use to try to find information about SMB shares. So we are going to do a NMAP scan to this IP address and see how many ports we have open. So we're going to go over here, NMAP 10.10, 162, 111. And 162, 111, and I think we were doing what, A and P? Capital A for doing the OS detection, version detection, and some scripts, and then the -P dash for scanning all ports, just not the top 1000. So let's go -A, and then let's see. And we'll see how that goes. Make sure that was, yep, 10.10, 162.111. So how's everybody doing? How was their Wednesday? While that is doing that, we can kind of take a look and see a little bit at the syntax for Enum for Linux. When we go to do that, it's going to be Enum for Linux, and then options, and then the IP. And as far as the tags, user list, machine list. Let's see, password policy. Yep, it is a Wednesday for sure. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Tough week. Oh man, that is going to take a long time. That's crazy. I shouldn't have done that like that then. Let's not do the full P on that then, because that... Let's just go like that. Let's see how long that will take. All right, so what did we get going on here? What do we got for ports open? So we got 22, 139, and 445. Like I talked about, those are net BIOS, and you're going to use that for SMB. And then there is some additional script result information here. So, hey, sorry about that. Looks like we looks like we dropped off there for some reason. A little internet issue. Let's get back to where we're at here. We're at 3. Let me refresh this to see if that caused any issues. There we go, 3. What ports was SMB running on? We saw it was 139 and 445. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why that dropped out. Let's start enum for Linux and conduct a full basic enumeration. For starters, what is the workgroup name? So that is going to be enum for Linux, and then dash, capital A, and then the IP address. And it was 10.10.162.111. And a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Let's see if we can scroll up to the top and take a look. Okay. Now let's see. For starters, what is the workgroup name? Workgroup name is workgroup, all capital. Okay. What comes up as the name of the machine? Polo SMB. I would say that would be the name. Yep, we'll go with that. Okay. What operating system version is running? 6.1 Ubuntu. Let's see, 6.1. And what share sticks out as something we might want to investigate? Let's see. Shares. Looking at these different shares, net logon, profiles, print, and IPC, I would say profiles probably is something we would want to take a look at. Because there might be some interesting information in there, or files. Okay. So the different types of exploits for SMB. Let's see, but in this case, we're going to be exploiting anonymous SMB shares access a common misconfiguration that allows us to gain information that will lead to a shell. So from our enumeration stage, we know the SMB share location. Yep. And the name of the interesting SMB share, which was the profiles. Because we're trying to access an SMB share, we need a client to access resources on the server. So we'll be using SMB client because it's part of the default Samba suite, and it should be default on Kali. Okay, it's going to be SMB client / IP address / and the share name. So what would be the correct syntax to access a SMB share called secret as user suit. So that would be, let's just see, that's going to be dash capital U for suit. Okay. Client 10.10.10.2 secret dash P 139 dash U suit. Cool. Okay, great. Now you've got the hang of the syntax. Let's have a try to exploit this vulnerability. You have a list of users, the name of the share, and a suspected vulnerability. Okay. Let's see if our interesting share has been configured to allow anonymous access, i.e. does not require authentication to view files. We can do this easily by using the username anonymous, connecting to the share we found during the enumeration stage, which is the profiles, and not supplying the password. So let's see. If we're going to do that, we're going to go SMB client, and then // the IP, okay. Client // 10.10.162.111, and that was the share profiles. Okay, that looks like that worked. So were we allowed to be able to get that without a password? Yes. Great. Have a look around for interesting documents that could contain valuable information. Who can we assume this profile folder belongs to? So let's do a ls. Okay, so what kind of looks interesting in here? Cache.profile. There's a text file, work from home information. Let's take a look at that. No. Is that... Let's see. Let's see if we can, how about we get it? Did I? I did, didn't I? Thank you. I had a typo. No. Yeah, let's try getting it. Formation.txt. And then let's see if we want to Does that? Yep. So let's go cat. Okay, let's see what we got here. John Cactus. As you're well aware, pandemic, all sorts of good stuff. Enables. As such, your account has now been enabled with SSH access to the main server. Oh man. At least it's not Telnet. All right. So, who probably owns this? I think that was what the question was. So let's go John Cactus. Okay. What service has been configured to allow him to work from home? SSH. Cool. Okay. Now we know this. What directory on the share would we look in? Well, I think that would be, if we go back. .ssh, I would assume. So let's give that a try. Cool. All right. This directory contains authentication keys to allow a user to authenticate on themselves and then access a server. Which of these keys is the most useful to us? So we probably want to get in there and take a look at that. Let's go back. We're back in there. CD. Okay. I would say based off of that, the authorized underscore keys file probably would be what we would be very interested in. So let's see. Is that not? Is that another thing where? Or maybe not. Let's see. Or maybe it's the ID underscore RSA. That could be it. Let's see. Cool. Okay. And then are we going to have to get that as well? What do they want us to do? Download this file onto your local machine, change the permissions. Okay. Well, let's take a look. So we were going to get ID RSA. Okay, exit. Let's see that ID RSA. And what do they want to chmod it to? 600. Start changing the permissions on the file. RSA, okay. Let's see what it says. And there we go. We got that. The private key there. Okay. What is... Now, using the information that you've already gathered to work out the username, of the account, then use a service and key to log into the server. Okay, so if we wanted to do that, let's see, we're going to want to go, we're going to use the file as the key for that, right? So we're going to SSH, let's see, let's just take a quick look at that, and SSH, I think it's -I, but let's see if I'm right. Identity file, yep, okay. So SSH dash I, and it was ID underscore RSA, ID underscore RSA. And then we were what? We were going to, the username to get in to that was, let's see if we go back up. Cactus, I think when we were looking up here before, using the enum for Linux, it had a list of usernames. I know it did somewhere. Known usernames, no. Let's see, work group. And we know it's John Cactus. And Cactus. And that's probably it. So let's go Cactus at, and what's the IP address again? Let's see. 10.10.162.111. 10.10.162.111. All right, let's see if, fingers crossed. Bam. There we go. We have stolen John Cactus's SSH key. We are all now elite hackers. All right, let's see. What did they want us to do once we got in there? Okay, there's a file they want us to look at. smb.txt, cat smb.txt. Fantastic. TryHackMe, SMB is fun. Okay. What's that? SMB is fun. I think that's what that was. Yep. Woo! Okay. That was SMB. I think we'll push on into what's next? Telnet? Yeah. So let me terminate the SMB box. We won't be needing that. We can, well, we hop into the understanding Telnet stuff. We can start up that machine. That normally takes a minute or two to do that. And we can start talking about Telnet and why Telnet is garbage. Because just like SMB version 1, Telnet does not have any type of encryption. For those who don't know what Telnet is, it is a protocol that allows you to remotely connect to a device. In the past, it was used for administrative access into devices, but the problem is your username and password and all the commands that you send over the Telnet session is all in plain text, so it's very easy to capture that if you're a nefarious individual and have something on the network to be able to capture traffic as it goes by. So we don't really use that anymore. We use SSH for the most part when you're talking about getting into command line stuff. Let's see. Yep, Telnet is trash. And actually, if you go on YouTube and yep, tattoo idea, Telnet is trash. If you go on YouTube and actually put in Telnet is garbage in the search, I think one of my videos comes up because I'm pretty sure that I tagged that for SEO purposes with that. So what was I going to say about Telnet? Oh, one good thing you can do with Telnet, though, is you can use it to see if different TCP services are open. So if you're trying to troubleshoot, for instance, if you want to see if a web server, if you have connectivity to a web server, or maybe an email server is another good example. You can Telnet IP address use the switch to be able to use the port number. And yeah, instead of it telnetting over port 23, which is the default telnet port, you can telnet over TCP25 for SMTP. So, all right, let's see. Anything else in here that is worth mentioning? Yeah, it's replaced by SSH. The syntax is telnet, IP, and then the port that you want. Yeah. I mean, that seems like that is a good amount of information. Let me see if there was anything else that we want to hit on that. We'll start answering these questions. So what is Telnet? Telnet is an application protocol. Fantastic. We could have tried to fit in a whole bunch of other nasty words in there to see if we can answer what Telnet is, but we won't do that. What has solely replaced Telnet? I said SSH. How would you connect to a Telnet server to the IP 10.10.10.3 over port 23? Well, since 23 is a default port, we won't need to actually modify that, so we can just go Telnet 10.10.10.3. And the lack of what means Telnet communication is plain text. That would be encryption. Okay, let's see. Sweet. All right, enumerating Telnet. What are we going to be doing here? So using NMAP again. So that scan last time, I didn't like that taking that long. Let's do, maybe we can, let's see. We'll see how long that will take to do that. 10.10.25.54 and 25.54. 54. Let's see how long that will take if we just do that. Minus doing all the fingerprinting and stuff like that. That fingerprinting coupled with a full scan of 65,000 ports seemed like that was going to take a bit. So we'll just kind of hit all the ports real quick, see if it comes back with anything. Let's take a look and see what they're going to have us do with this. All right, so we're going to have to find out how many ports are open on the machine. What port is it? What port? So that's going to be what port number is it? And we can see, because of the fact that it has 4 asterisks there, chances are it would end up being above 1,000, which means if we just did the default scan that would have done the top 1,000, then we might have missed whatever that is. So this port is unassigned. There we go. But still list the protocol it's using. What protocol is this? And we'll see. And then we're going to do it with as just the capital A. And let's see what else. Based on the telnet's returned us, what do we think this port could be used for? Who could it belong to? Gathering possible usernames for enumeration. Okay, let's see. Oh, come on. So what do you pen testers do when you're just sitting here waiting for, you know, a scan to take an hour or so? Gotta go do something, I guess. Don't have a book here. uh... We'll go through and see what they will want us to do once we get to the exploit part. So once we go to exploit it, yeah, fuzz other stuff for sure, and eat Snickers. Yeah, that works too. Watch InfoSec unplugged while I wait. Yeah. Yeah. As long as that doesn't become some type of signature for an IOC, I guess that's probably pretty good. Could clear a cave in Skyrim or something. Yeah. Yeah. I love some Skyrim. It's always good. Let's see how this is coming. Oh, come on. If this is going to take too long to enumerate this, I am not against going and finding the answers for this section so we can just press forward, because the whole thing is trying to get through as much as we can and not all of us sitting online together for an hour waiting for a scan to run. But let's see what we were going to do here once we get past enumeration. Backdoor, and let's see. So we're going to do a reverse shell. Anyone do this con last week? That's the one John Hammond was doing, right? I think. And a few other people. I saw a few people post about that. Let's see how that's going. You want me to go get the parrot? Oh, I don't know about that. I can hear her downstairs. I don't think you guys can. But if I go get my parrot, then that's not going to be good. All right, let's see. What type of stuff was in the CTF? Yeah, this is gonna take too long. We will go get some. We'll get a cheat sheet on this real quick, and keep pressing on. Let's see if I can Google. Let's see if we can find this. TryHackMe Network Services, Telnet. Network Services. We'll do this. Take a look. Telnet. Okay, so with the scan, we would end up seeing that only one port is open, and it is 8012 TCP. And web binary mobile crypto. Oh, that's a lot. That's pretty cool. And what else do we kind of get from this? interesting stuff that's coming out here. Skitty's backdoor. I mean, that that kind of pops out a little bit, I think, as far as different fingerprinting for services. All right, we'll cancel this. Let's go. All right. So we will just answer these questions from here. All right. Let's do. All right. There was only one port open. It was 8012. Which protocol was it using? It was using TCP. And I think that still was going to just show one port. Nope. What else did it say? Oh, without that, it was going to show 0 ports because it was going to do the top 1,000 ports. Yeah. So that makes sense. And what we're saying. So here we see that assigning Telnet to a non-standard port is not part of the common port list or top 1,000. Yeah, it's important to try every angle. Agreed. Based on the title returned to us, what do we think this port could be used for? What was it? Skitty's backdoor. So, a backdoor? Remote access? Backdoor. And who could it belong to? Well, we saw Skitty. I don't know about Skitty, but no. Is it only 1D? Skitty, 1D. Okay. Only 1D. There we go. So keep a note of information you find during your enumeration stage so you can refer back to it to try when you move on to other exploits. Notes are important, for sure. Okay. So we were talking about how to use Telnet. We already talked about IP and port number. A reverse shell is a piece of code or program that can be used to gain code or command execution on a device. A reverse shell is a type of shell in which a target machine communicates back to the attacking machine. So we would have something up listening on a certain port on our attack machine, and based off of implanting some type of code on the victim machine, it would communicate backwards. Once it makes that connection, then we would have the ability to have a shell into the victim. Let's see. Okay. Let's try and connect to this Telnet port. Let us try. Telnet 10.10, 25.54, 012. Connected. Skitty's backdoor. Bam. Okay. What welcome message do we receive? Oh, that's not what I meant to click. Skitty's backdoor is the message that we receive. Okay. Let's try executing some commands. Do we get a return when we input anything there? I keep clicking on that. Let's see. Nothing. We get nothing. We get nothing. I always forget how to get out of that. So let's go see what we had. No, we don't. Okay. That's strange. Let's see if what we're typing is being executed on the system. So let's do new terminal. There we go. Here, we'll make that big again. Okay. So we were going to go sudo TCP dump IP protocol ICMP and then interface eth0. See if I can remember all of that. Sudo TCP dump TCP dump. Not going to remember the IP protocol. Proto. And then I think it was ICMP dash I eth0. I dash eth0. Okay. Now use the command. Okay. Now use a command ping through the Telnet session. And then, so that's going to be my other. Let's see. Let's see if that is. Okay. I don't even know. Okay, so that's going to be 10.10.101.127. So that's going to be, let's see. Ping. Let's go run. Ping 10.10.101.127. And what was the other command there? Oh, count one. Okay. And let's see if we. Well, we did. We did get an echo request, an echo reply. So, yes. Great. That means we're able to execute system commands and we're able to reach our local interface. Now let's have some fun. All right. So we're going to create a reverse shell payload using MSF Venom. This will generate and encode a netcat reverse shell for us. Oh, I love some netcat. All right. And so this is going to be MS Venom -P for payload, and then the reverse netcat localhost, our localhost IP address. So that's going to be the 10.10 one that we just tried to ping, and then the port, and then export that. I don't know if that will let me copy that over. That would be awesome if it does. I don't think it will, though. Nah, that won't let me do that. Of course not. Let's see. So MSF Venom -P Venom -P. Let's see. was -p cmd Unix reverse netcat. Netcat lhost equals my IP address 10.10.101.127 and what was it, local port equals 444 and then capital R. L port equals 4444 and capital R. Okay. And it's blinking, which means it must be doing something. And that looks like that is the output of the command that we're going to need. Cool. MK FIFO. So what does the generate MK FIFO? MK FIFO. Sweet. We are nearly there. All right. Netcat listener on our local machine. We're going to go netcat-lvp, and then we're using 4444. LVP 444. Okay. Okay. Copy. So now we're going to... What would the command look like for listening on the port that we... Oh, I just typed that in. Okay. NC-LVP 4444. Okay. Copy and paste the MS Venom payload into the Telnet session and run it as a command. Okay. So we're going to take this. We're going to copy it. And pop it over into here. Is that going to have to be a run, paste? Okay. And we got our connection up through netcat. So now that should mean I can see what's going on there. Under root, we got a flag.txt. Let's take a look at that. TXT. There we go. Woo! Let's see if that's what they were asking for. What is the context of the flag? All right. Teach him. And we will take that over and try and copy that in there. So that was THM. And that you got the Telnet flag. Let's see. Bam. All right. So that is Telnet and SMB. Should we press forward and do FTP? Probably. Let's do it since we're already almost there. How's everybody doing? Hanging in there? Get rid of that. Got rid of that. All right. Let's spin up this FTP server while we do the understanding FTP. So, kind of the same thing with the rest of these looking at SMB version 1 and looking at Telnet, I mean, the main issue with FTP is the fact that again, doesn't have any type of encryption. So FTP, the file transfer protocol, is used for sending files back and forth. It's a client-server type of thing. Uses TCP 20 and 21. One is used for kind of control traffic, and the other is used as the data channel. Let's see if they say anything else in here that's kind of interesting. Active passive, active FTP connection. The client opens a port and listens. The server is required to actively connect to it. A passive FTP connection. The server opens a port and listens, and the client connects to it. The separation of command information data. The separate channels of the way to be able to send commands to the server without having to wait for the current data transfer to finish, right? Because that can be really, really annoying if you have some type of data transfer going on and you aren't able to interact or do other types of commands. So let's see. What communication model does FTP use? Client server? Maybe? Cool. Standard FTP port. Are they talking like 20 and 21? Is that what they want? No. Yeah, okay. So they're talking about the command and the data channel, so 21, okay. How many modes of FTP connection are there? We already talked about that. Active and passive, so 2. Bam. Okay, and let's see. This one is up already, so we're good with that. We can go ahead and kill this. That's already done. Cool. All right. Let's see what we got for enumerating. Let's see how many ports are open. We'll try this again. NMAP -A, and what was the IP? 10.10, 117, 177. Was it 111? 117, 177. There we go. Let that do that. Let's see what's going to happen there. Hopefully this one shouldn't take too long. There we go. Okay. So what do we got for ports? We only have one port open. TCP 21. It's using VSFTP 2.08. Anonymous login allowed. Okay. Anything else of interest here? Yeah, I think that's probably about it. Okay. So that's good information to have. So let's go back. One port is open. No? Did I do that wrong? How many ports are open? Did I miss that? Oh. Did I miss that? Let me see. How many ports are open on the target machine? How is my answer incorrect? It literally is one port. It's not the... Okay. Interesting. Why is it saying 2? Because it's... Maybe because it doesn't list port 20. I don't know. That's strange. I don't know why that's coming up like that, but we'll go with it. What port is FTP running on? 21. What variant? That was the VS FTPD. VS FTPD. Okay. Great, now we know what type of FTP server we're dealing with, and we can check to see if we're able to log on anonymously. Well, we saw in the output there that it said that. Anonymous login allowed. We can do this by typing FTP and the IP address into the console and entering anonymous and no password when prompted. So let's give that a try. 10.10.117.177. And then what we're going to type. Entering anonymous. Okay. Did I? Probably. Let's see. I probably did that wrong. Yeah, of course I spelled it wrong. That helps. Goodbye. Let's try that again. There we go. Like that. Login successful. And then we can take a look. Public notice text. Cool. So that worked. What is the name of the file? Public notice.txt. Not a space there. What am I doing? The underscore in between, probably. There we go. Okay. What do we think a possible username could be? Well, let's take a look at what that says. See if we can actually view that this way. Yeah, so let's pull that back. I hope everyone is aware that the FTP server will not be available over the weekend. Backups will be made to my account. So, okay. So Mike sounds like a good username. Okay, details, username. Let's see what we can do with that. All right, let's see if we can exploit FTP. All right, so what are we going to use here? We talked about the channels being unencrypted. FTP being sent in plain text. So from our enumeration stage, we know that FTP server is running on the machine, and we know a possible username. So we're going to try and brute force the password on the FTP server, and we're going to use Hydra. Okay. So Hydra lets us do rapid dictionary attacks on more than 50 different protocols. Comes by default on Kali. The syntax is Hydra-T, and then the number of parallel connections -L for the user that you're trying to compromise, which in this case will be Mike, -P for pointing towards our word list for our passwords that we're using to try to brute force it, and then -lowercase v, uppercase V for very, very verbose output. the IP address that we're going to, and then the protocol that we're going to be using in this case, which will be FTP. So let's give this a try. And we'll see how this goes. Dun, 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 dun. So we are going to go hydra -l Mike is the username, -p for where the data was, data src, word list, rocku.txt, and what was else? The number of sessions, parallel sessions, we're doing 4, FTP, and the IP address was, let's see, what was it again? 10.10.117.177. 10.17.177. Let's see if I had that wrong. Oh, USR and share. USR. R. Share. Did I have that wrong? Let's see. -P, USR, share, word lists. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Hey, Francis. Which web link am I getting the questions from? You mean like where is the lab that I'm using for this? It's on TryHackMe, and it's their network services lab. I think it's free. Once the video is all done, I'll put a link for it in the description. Okay. So what did we get here? Oh, Mike's password is password. Oh, Mike sucks. What are you doing, Mike? That is horrible. Oh man, that is awesome. That is the first time anybody's ever done that. I appreciate that. Just trying to put out good information for everybody, so I definitely appreciate that. And thanks for always supporting too. You always comment on my videos. All right. Password. Bingo. Now let's see what we can do with the FT and the IP. And then we're going to try, just go FTP 10.10.117 or 117.177. Not GTP. That won't get us too far. How about FTP? Mike and his horrible password. And there's our FTP.txt. Get FTP txt. Exit cat FTP.txt. And we got the FTP flag. Let's go put that in there. Woo! So that is not too bad. I think we did all 3 of those in about an hour, including the video dropping out there for a minute, which sucks. But let's see. U0U _ got underscore 3 underscore FTP underscore flag. Let's see if this is it. That should be it. Bam. All right. That is it for the Network Services Lab. Very, very cool. If we go back and look at what we have available for us moving forward for the next ones that we do, since we did that and that, maybe we'll do the Network Services 2 next. And then after that, then maybe we'll hop back into the penetration tools and do Metasploit and Nessus and all these in here. So, yeah, anybody have any questions? Well, while we're wrapping this up. I appreciate everybody hanging in for an hour plus, going through all that. I hope it was interesting. Hopefully you learned something from it. It's always fun to do that type of stuff. I don't do this stuff in my day-to-day job, so it's, you know, stuff that I've read about here and there, taken a class, you know, a few years ago and stuff like that. So it's always a little tricky to shake the cobwebs loose on some of this stuff, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I appreciate everybody hanging in with me and going through that. And hopefully it was fun for you guys too. So if nobody has any other questions, then we can go ahead and wrap it up. And yeah, look forward to the next one of these that we do. I got some more Linux Plus labs coming out that I'm going to do. We're going to do users and group 1 next. And then yeah, we'll keep doing these. I think for the past few weeks on the Wednesday stream, since my Wednesday one is normally the longest one, you know, we had been reviewing different job postings and stuff like that, but I think that's pretty much done. I think I hit all the ones that I wanted to do. So we can pretty much turn this Wednesday into a TryHackMe Pentest Plus lab day, and that works because an hour is about a good amount of time to go through all this stuff. So got a few more comments coming in. Appreciate it. Appreciate you you sticking around for the whole thing. Thanks, Kiki. Appreciate that too. All right, so yeah, I think that's about it. We'll wrap it up. So once again, appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And if you did like this, make sure you share it with your friends so maybe it's beneficial for them too. All right, everybody have a good evening. All right, bye.